This video falls under fair use. Fair use allows commentary, criticism, and reactions. What's up, back with another one. So today I'm going to show you this clip of Stephen A. and Kari Champion. Check this clip out.
Stephen A. I played that Michelle Beadle clip for one reason and one reason only. I'm old enough to remember being on that show and getting in trouble based on some comments you said about women and whether or not they should know their place when it comes to abuse or non-abuse. Ray Rice comes to mind. Not going to get into the details of all of that. But Beadle just came for you yet again, like she did when I worked at ESPN. I wonder, do you have that same smoke for her that you have for Jasmine Crockett, that you have for Michelle Obama, that you sometimes display for me and Jemele Hill? Do you have that same smoke? I'm sick of it. Keep the same energy. And I call you and I root for you and I say, hey, I got your back. I'm happy for you. But you keep that same energy, sir, for everybody.
This whole thing really shows how fast people jump into debates without full context. Stephen A. is all about setting boundaries. When he speaks, he's addressing the bigger issue of how people try to twist his words.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You just said, Kerry, you called me, you root for me. Why would you root for somebody that called you out in Jemele Hill, who's your good friend? Because it's never happened. Never. I've shown you nothing but love. What are you talking about? You were hired at First Take in large part because of me. You stayed as long as you stayed and had the support of the people that supported you because of me. Do I need to get bosses to confirm that I'm telling the truth? You know I can. When we see the diverse people that come on First Take, black people, women, the list goes on and on. Who did that? That wasn't happening when Skip was there. That was me. What are you talking about? When have I spoken against you? When have I thrown shade against you? When did that happen? That is a lie. Me, dogging Kari Champion? When? And if I did it, why did you call me and root for me? What are you sick of? Or did you just want the attention? You see, we're going to have a deeper discussion right here and now because I'm sick of this. And I'm not going to be scared by women that I have loved on for many, many years as a colleague and as a contemporary and watching folks back. It doesn't mean everything that I'm going to do is going to please you. But y'all are talking without facts. We want to talk about, like Michelle Beadle talked about and other people talk. Ask John Skipper. Ask Connor Shell. Ask Norby Williamson. I'm usually not supposed to give out names, but what I'm saying to y'all is, whether it's Dave Roberts, it's a Burke Magnus, it's a Jimmy Pitaro, or anybody else, ask them my support. For numerous people that have walked through the walls of ESPN, including you and Jemele Hill. What are you talking about? I didn't want Jemele Hill to leave. I've been on the air religiously stating she's a miss for us. Highly intelligent, very accomplished, good peoples. What are you talking about? When? Can somebody here please find something that on the record when I'm on the air something talking about Jemele Hill and Kari Champion? You were at the Tennis Channel. And I brought you over to ESPN. Not just me. Had to get approval. Had to get Skip Bayless support because he was the number one guy. Who you think did it? Who you think did it? I can get into a whole bunch of details that surrounded you not necessarily ending up there. If Skip had his way or somebody else had their way, it was me that stopped that. Are you sick of the attention you're not getting because you're not on ESPN anymore? I didn't ask you to leave. It was your choice. It's hard, ladies and gentlemen, to sit here and to listen to stuff like this from people who are supposed to be your friends. When you had a meeting wanting to come back to ESPN, who set up the meeting? Who would you call? What are you talking about? Why would you do that?
What's up? So what are my thoughts about this? Here's the thing. Stephen A. has always made it clear that he stands on what he says, and this situation is no different. When he responded, it wasn't about being defensive, it was about reinforcing his credibility. Over the years, people have watched him build his career through consistency, work ethic, and staying sharp under pressure. So when someone tries to question that, especially in a public way, it's only natural that he reminds everyone of what he represents. The thing about Stephen A. is that he doesn't need anyone to validate him because his record speaks for itself. A lot of people forget that in this business, perception becomes reality, and once a false narrative starts spreading, it can stick if you don't address it head on. That's exactly what he's doing here, clearing the air before things spiral. And honestly, he's not wrong for wanting to keep his name separate from other people's opinions or affiliations. He's worked too long and too hard to let anyone rewrite his legacy. The takeaway here is simple. When you've earned your platform, you have every right to defend it. People can disagree, but they can't deny the discipline and focus that got him here. Okay, so drop a comment, smash that like button, and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video.